Republicans changed their party status in Colorado. Per NPR, the number of people changing parties spiked immediately after the Capitol breach. The same phenomenon is playing out nationwide. News outlets documented about 6,000 defections from the party in North Carolina, 10,000 in Pennsylvania, and 5,000 in Arizona. In Colorado, only a small fraction of the defectors chose to join the Democratic Party. Some went to conservative third parties. The vast majority, about 4,200 people, switched from Republican to unaffiliated status, accelerating a trend that has affected both parties in Colorado in recent years. The Colorado GOP lost about 0.5% of its registered voters in the week after the riot. The thousands of newly unaffiliated voters can still support Republican candidates and participate in the party's primaries. And that's your news on Rainier Avenue Radio.
This is Rainier Avenue Radio .world.
Just different. Welcome to The Sentiment, a thought-provoking show with discussions that consist of life's experiences. We are bringing thoughts and perspectives out of captivity and isolation into spaces that promote awareness, healing, restores hope, and proclaims victory in everyday thinking and living. Come sip with me. Welcome back to The Sentiment. Good evening. It is I, your girl, your host, Latrice Chenee, and I am excited that you have tuned in, tapped in to join us this evening. Happy Black History, all the months, all the things. We are all the months. It's not just one month, but today we are honoring Black love. We are celebrating Black love. Again, if you just tune in, you're listening to The Sentiment on Rainier Avenue Radio .world. Thank you for tuning in. And today we are honoring Black love with the wonderful, the most amazing couple. Please help me introduce the Alexanders.
Hey.
Hey, y'all.
What's going on?
Yeah, it's the crew.
Hey.
What's going on?
Let me find out you got a code name, Latrice Chenee.
It's just the government first and middle. That's all.
I got you. All right. I see you.
I am so grateful, you all, for taking the time to join me this evening. What you sipping? What are you sipping?
Hey, you already know. I'm up here in Texas, in Dallas, Texas, away from my lovely wife. But my daughter mixed me up something called what's it called? It's a Texas Dirty Arnold Palmer.
Oh, not the dirty Arnold Palmer.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So the sweet tea, the lemonade, but what's the dirty?
Yeah, what's the dirty?
Well, actually, I can't tell you because she made it. So, she's a mixologist.
Is it dirty dark or dirty light? What we doing over there?
It's probably dirty dark.
Well, I'm sure that tastes wonderful. Thank you for sharing.
Well,
Miss Yolanda.
I just have the nice hot apple cider on this cold day. That's what I have. Apple cider.
And I have a little bit of dandelion root tea on this evening. I try to drink 1 to 2 cups a day.
Yeah.
I heard it's good for inflammation and digestion. So I am sipping on that this evening. I don't want to waste any more time, y'all. I want to just jump right into it. You all are an amazing couple. You are mentors to many. I absolutely love, Dwayne, how you adore your wife publicly and private. You absolutely love on her. You are a man after God's heart, and that shows up in how you treat your family. And you put that on display, like I said, in public and in private. For those of you out there who don't know the Alexanders, or those of you who do, what you see is absolutely what you get. I've had the privilege to have a front seat to it. So what you see on social media, it's not for show. Listen, that man loves his wife and that woman loves her boyfriend. Okay? Her loves so what you see is absolutely what you get. And so when I wanted to honor 2 couples this month for Black Love, I absolutely thought of you all. There is not another couple other than my aunt and uncle of 30 years married, 32 this year, because I'll be 40, Lord Jesus.
Wow.
So, you know, I just appreciate you all for allowing me to honor you today and for you all to come and share a little bit of your love with us. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for those kind words, sis. Appreciate that.
Thank you. There's so many couples out there, so many Black Love couples. Thank you so much. There
are, and we'll get to some of them, but to celebrate this kickoff of the Sentiments version of relationships and honoring Black love, which will not just happen for the month of February, I wanted to absolutely have you all, so thank you. Tell us how long you all have been married.
Ooh, you want to tell them?
Well, wifey, you want to jump on that? Go ahead.
Well, it's been 20 years. We have been married for 20 years. We've been together for 23 years. So 20 years.
Yes.
So going on 21. Go.
Come through, Alexander's in the background. I see the wall. Come through with the jewelry swinging. Yes. 20 years. Okay, yes, 20 years.
She been chasing me about 20 of those years. You know, 23, I finally let her just, you know, all right, I'll
Absolutely. Absolutely. Who did make the first move? Who made the first move?
As big as you want it, babe.
It's my dream.
It's your dream.
Yeah, it's your story. I'll let you tell it how you want.
Well, hey, I made the first move. I'll tell you. You know, back in the day, what had happened was I saw this cutie on the side of the road, or was I on the side of the road? Whatever it was, I put the fishing pole out there. I casted my line.
You casted your line.
But
and she kind of dissed my line. I was like, oh, okay, all right. But that was pre 1990 something. And I said, well, what happened was, you know, I'll catch you down the road.
Right.
So, you know, as the story was
told. How much longer down the road are we talking?
I was actually prophesying that I was going to marry her. I was prophesying that it was going to happen somewhere down the road. You know, she dissed me on the first part. But, you know, a man of my stature, I can take rejection.
I know that's right.
A no ain't really a no. It's
when you know what you want. When you know what you want.
When you know what you want and when you know how to go get it.
I know that's
it's gonna happen. It's just a matter of time, right, fellas?
I know. I know that's right. Talk to them, because some of them don't know the pursuit, honey. They need to talk to them, okay? They don't know.
They just got to know how to plant the right seed and then water it later on down the road.
So now that this leads me to the next question, and we'll come back around. But what is it that attracted you to her? And even now, what is your favorite part about your spouse? And this is for you as well, Yolanda.
You want me to go first?
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would say it's her spirit, her character, her radiance. That's what captured me. Stands out.
Absolutely.
Her spirit, her welcoming spirit just stands out to me. And the things that I thought about and I prayed about for a woman, those were the characteristics that I saw strategically. And so that's what blew my gaskets.
But what attracted me was everybody he thought was I mean, you know, and I think God looked at, you know, but I think
we can't hear you. We can't hear you if you're talking good things about me. We can't hear you.
Can't hear me?
It's kind of going in and out. I'm gonna mute while you're talking. Let's see if that helps.
Okay. Can you hear me now? Okay. So what I was saying was that a lot of people thought Dwayne was fine, but for me, I didn't look at it like that. One thing that Dwayne was his love. So that was most important. Was his love for God. So, can you hear me?
Yes.
A little choppy.
And it's a little bit echoey. So I'll just go ahead and echo you to make sure that they are getting what you're saying. And so correct me if I'm wrong, but you're saying that a lot of women thought he was it. He probably thought he was fine too. So a lot of women thought he was fine, right? But you were like, yeah, I. And what most attracted you to him was his love for God.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
Absolutely. Sounds good. And so now, what is it that just does it for you? And if you all have specific love languages, why are they important? And how do you all operate in them?
For me, what gets me now is he's just my, that's my buddy. I love to be around. He's so fun to be around. He makes the light out of everything. He's like my backbone to everything. When I'm upset, he knows how to calm me down. So for him and me, I think we just get along. You know, we like to hang out with each other. We like each other. That's the main thing. We like each other, genuinely like each other. So that's what really keeps us strong. And that's what attracts me to him, is that he's so fun to be around. And we have a great chemistry that just works. Because we were friends first, you know, so that's the main thing, is friends first.
Talk to him.
I would say our foundation, number one, and our friendship. Our foundation has been based and found upon God's will for our lives. Our friendship, number two, we're genuinely good friends. I love playing with her. I love hanging out with her. She laughs at all my corny jokes. You know, that's big. You know,
what I get him.
Yeah, she'll give me those corny laughs when I know I dropped a corny one. I'm just like, yeah, whatever. She laughing, okay, I'll dig with it. But also, my love language is definitely acts of service.
All kind of acts of service, right?
So with the acts of service, how do you respond to that, Miss Yolanda?
Speak to it, baby.
No.
Yeah, speak to us. You got to teach them.
Speak to the people. They want to hear.
We're wives before we're wives now. Teach the people.
You know, you just basically have to submit. You know, I mean, to me, submitting is, as long as he's following God, I'm following him and doing what he pleases. You know, there definitely are times when you don't want to, you know, his acts of service and all that. But you know what? It's not about me. You know, for me, when I want to please my husband. I want to make sure I cater into his love language, because sometimes,
absolutely.
And if you're not, I mean, you know, not that you can fall out of love, but I'm just saying the thing is that you want to continue to be able to keep that love language there. And if that's what he likes, then that's what you work on, and that's what you pray. And if that's not something that you're good at showing, then you just pray and God will be able to help you at those times when it's needed. And mine's like, you know, quality time. I think both of ours, one of us, is quality time too. You know, I'm not you don't have to give me gifts. I'm not all that, you know, but it doesn't take a lot for me, but definitely the quality time is needed. You know? And that's what he definitely makes sure that's met with us. I mean, we date a lot, so, which is very important.
That's very important, because when you know one another's love language, and if you keep that in the forefront of your mind, if my goal to stay married and stay happily married is to think of that love language and put that in the forefront and remember that constantly and do those things out of the spur of the moment, because I'm a spur of the moment guy.
Okay.
I may say, hey, it's Thursday night, Friday morning, we on a plane somewhere. Bring that one little thing I like. You know what I'm saying? We'll be back when we get back.
I actually remember one time that you actually had a backpack for her, and she didn't even know that she was leaving.
That's right. That's
so
right.
I do remember. Yes, you're right.
So fellas, that's what we got to do. We've got to take the charge. We've got to keep, and it's not always easy keeping the fire alive. Life happens, stuff happens, work, family, everything.
Right.
Stuff happens.
Right.
But you got to strategically
plan those out.
Constantly remember to do those things. And I'm not perfect with it, but I try my best.
You're good.
Just don't quit, huh? Just do it.
Keep doing it.
Hey, you see that? Just don't quit. Just do it.
That's perfect.
That's one of my
That's
mottos. Come on, baby.
That's the spirit of it. Just don't quit every day.
That's why I wear the
Every day,
shirt
just
all
do
the
it.
time.
That's it.
Anyway,
Perfect shirt for that moment.
come on.
Perfect shirt for the. You know what? It's very. I'm very glad you all are saying that. A lot of people aren't even aware of what their love languages are. And speaking, I want the sentiment to always be a platform that we can speak to all people of all beliefs, all backgrounds. You know, because some people aren't believers, but how important is it to just to spend time getting to know your spouse and what they like? And even if this is person you're courting and you want to marry, what is it about them? What do they love? What's their spark? I'm watching Soul with the kids. What are they passionate about? What lights the fire on the inside of them? What do they love to do? It may just be a gentle touch. One thing, you know, you all should know about Dwayne, every time he comes in the house, first thing he does is come to his wife and he kisses her. Hey, babe, how was your day? What's going on? That's one thing I did recognize. I know that. See, I pay attention.
All right.
No. And one thing, and every time I'm there, it never fails. I don't care what you may have looked tired. You might have had a day. Who knows? But I know you're not always, you know, in this. You never know what may have occurred in your day. But one thing I know for certain is that you acknowledge her when you come in your home. And that is very important for a woman who may have a love language that's touch. What if you had a husband that never shows her that acknowledgement or that affection with touch as her love language? What type of damage would that do if she's even not aware that is something that she needs? Right? That's
very key.
Yes,
very key for men and women to be cognizant of that. If I know that that's her love language and that's my love language, if I'm engaging in that constantly, strategically, then I know her tank is full.
Absolutely.
She knows my tank is full.
Right.
But if we're not operating out of those things strategically, then you wonder why relationships begin to sour.
Yeah.
Men and women get to go to the left and to the right.
I mean,
everybody with the social media page, we've all got a lot of things in our face pulling our attention left to the right.
That's
right?
it.
Come on, y'all.
Let's
talk about it. You got women coming in your DMs. You got men coming in your DMs. You got this flying at you. You got this on the TV. You got this on Facebook. This on Instagram.
That's real.
All of it.
Right.
That's real.
And if you're not being, if things at home ain't tight and right.
Yep.
I'm just saying.
Right. Be intentional about how you love your spouse. Be intentional. And I love how you all are intentional about how you love one another. That is very, very important. I've had couples talk to me about not even being aware of the other's love language. And I'm like, well, and then you begin to talk to them and ask them questions. Well, how do you all operate? How does it work for you? What does this look like? And then they might be able to, articulate it. But it is so, so very important. I think God created us each uniquely. And part of the love languages is beginning to discover, how we feel secure as women, how you feel valued and respected as men, how you feel honored, how you feel, just loved in general, right? So I think that is huge. That is key. And I wanted you all to touch on it because I realize that's something that you all do extremely well. Tell me a little bit more about how it works for you all. Like, how does it work? What's how y'all communicate? What's the flow? What makes y'all work? Other than the friendship as the foundation, because we talked about that.
What'd you say?
Other than the friendship as the foundation, because that's key, right? You mentioned that.
For me, I make it work. And I always tell women, you gotta pick and choose your battles. You really do. You gotta pick and choose whether you want to get upset about something, whether you want to be happy about it. You gotta pick and choose your battles, which is very important to me. I mean, I think that it really helps us. I mean, we can have a bad day. As women, we can have attitudes. any little thing to set us off. But it's up to you. The choices that you make, determines how you're going to be able to react to that situation. So for me, I think what makes it work, we don't argue a lot. I think we came from relationships where we argued all the time, all kind of stuff, and we just chose not to do that no more. I mean, everybody has their own different coming up and what they've been through. But as far as what I'm just, how you just, I don't want to argue no more.
Right.
We talk about, pretty much. We don't stay mad very long. I mean, my son is almost 19. He probably seen us argue once in his lifetime, if even that. So it's just basically how to, respect each other and talk to each other. And I know, there's times when you don't feel like talking, and I just let it be and he'll come back around, or it will come back around. So I just think, giving us that space, being able to recognize when each other is in that space and to step back. I mean, because we're going to go through those things. Ain't no marriage perfect. We're not perfect. I thank God what people are, always look at us in a certain way, but we're not perfect, and we don't stand here to be perfect, but we do what we can to make sure that this relationship is going to work. Our marriage will work, so we're in it for the life.
Absolutely. Thank you.
I think I would say for me, real quick, I would say for me, what helps me and blesses me is that my wife from day one, she knows me, and she has not tried to change me as some women, I must say some women can try to change a man, but she loves me for who I am. I'm Dwayne. I'm not changing. This is who I am. I'm crazy at times. I'm loving. I'm caring. I'm X, Y, and Z, and she loves me for that, for who I am. I'm outgoing. I talk to a lot of people. Women, men, everybody, all the way around the board. And she doesn't try to change me. And I love that because I'm bullheaded at times. You're not changing me. This is who I am. This is what you get. You're either going to love me, roll with me, rock with me. Let's build this thing together and let's keep it pushing. And that's what I love.
Absolutely.
So, word to the wise, women, don't try and change the man. Let him be who he is. If he gonna love you for who he is, if you got God leading him, and if he's in the right mind frame, he gonna love you properly. If not, keep it pushing.
Right. Period. And cheers to that. I'll sip to that. Women, don't try to change a man. That's what Dwayne says this evening.
Hello. Holla at your boy. You need some info. DM me.
Well, while we're going into the advice column, what was it, Dear Abby? The Dear Abby. I think I'm actually gonna have to do a segment like that.
Hey, that would be hot.
Oh yeah, that's coming. I like that. Thank you. So I want you all to just give us the raw and give us the real. It can be on anything. It can be on sex. It can be on finances. It can be on dating your spouse after the ring. It can be on anything. It can be on co-parenting. It can be on anything. I want you all to give your top 3, each of you, advice for either a single woman who is dating in a courtship where they're going to be married, or a situation for young married couples who are just coming into it.
Man, you just poured out a lot.
Oh yeah.
That was like, damn. Go ahead, Pooh. I'll chime in a second. Go ahead, jump in there.
I think for maybe, and I know that you may have listeners who are not Christians, who don't know nothing about God, and
exactly. So, but be true to you. The show is about your sharing your story.
All I can be. And
absolutely.
One thing that I tell people, to me, if your relationship is not founded and the foundation is not of God, it's gonna get really hard. It gets, if you don't know God,
it's already hard.
If you ain't following God, Lord G, because them tests and trials is gonna come, and but God is your foundation. Then then when it does come, you won't be able to be shaken too much. You know what I'm saying? Because you know where you stand. So I think, to me, I mean, and if you don't have a man who loves God, first of all, because you got to follow, if the man is going to be the head of your household, you have to, he has to know God. Because for me, I'm not going to follow somebody who ain't following the right God. For me, I'm going to them. But because the one who follows God, it's so easy to follow him. It's so easy to allow him to make decisions and not have to worry about what's he doing with the fight or anything like that. Because I know he's going to lead us in the right direction because he's being led by God. So for me, that's number one priority for me, as God first.
All right.
Hey, she said it. I mean, she said a mouthful. Foundation. Your foundation is huge. So for the couples that are dating, get to know that young man. Get to know that young woman. Spend some time. If you're in the faith, you definitely want to make sure that man has his leadership capacity on point.
Absolutely.
Because it's gonna come up. Issues will arise. Issues will arise in a marriage. They have in ours. And by the grace of God, we've been able to revert back to our foundation and figure these things out. Issues will arise, y'all. Hear me. They have. No marriage is a perfect marriage. You're gonna have issues that you're gonna go through. With the foundation, you're able to revert back and find the wisdom to be able to help you to walk through each and every situation that you're going through. Understand that?
Absolutely.
So there's gonna be tough parts. We've had valleys. We've had our share of valleys. We definitely have our share of the good spots. And thank God we've had more good than bad. So with that being said, stand firm on your foundation. Continue to build on your foundation, and you can last. One thing that me and my wife we resolved a very long time ago that once we got married, the divorce word is not in our vocabulary. So I said, woman, you stuck with me, so you have to figure this out. Figure it out. You dig? It's not in our vocabulary. So, sorry about that. So we don't let that run and rock our marriage. What we do is when we hit a rough spot, we get back down on our knees and we come together and say, hey, let's work this out. We do what we got to do.
That's right. It's important to have the man in a position to know how to go to God in prayer. And I don't think you know that there is much more to be said. You are so grateful that you all have joined me on this evening. It will not be the last time. I do have a segment coming up in the near future regarding co-parenting, especially in this season, in this time of social media, etc. So I will be all back on to join that conversation.
Yeah, you let us know. We ready for that too. We got to let something share with that too.
Absolutely. I know this. Yes, Lord. So you all, thank you for tuning in and listening to this wonderful segment where I was able to honor the most wonderful Alexanders. They are an amazing couple and they have wisdom beyond measure to offer. And I was very honored today to be able to celebrate them. And please tune in next week, Wednesday at 6 p.m. The next sounds you will hear is Rainier Avenue Radio World News. Please also tune in this month to Black History, as there are a lot of exciting things that Rainier Avenue Radio has coming up. I know that Tiffany Wilson will be live at 8 p.m. So make sure that you tune back in this evening for that as well. She is an amazing voice. You will be pleased and you will be entertained. This has been an amazing time. Once again, be gracious and kind to yourself and to others. You never know who's in your space, who needs healing, who just needs a hello and a smile. I'll see you guys later.
Just different.
Thank you for listening to The Sentiment. Please join me next time with the next topic and the next guest that graces us with their presence. In the meantime, be blessed and be gracious and kind to yourself and others. Mwah.